Welcome, everyone. Today, we will be covering sport performance training techniques for both men and women's basketball. Basketball is an intermittent, innovation-based court sport requiring repeated bursts of explosive movement, tactical decision-making, and rapid transitions between offense and defense. The goal of this presentation is to break down physiological demands, key performance indicators, normative data, common injury patterns, and evidence-based training strategies that make athletes successful at the professional and collegiate level. This is my outline for today. It's going to be the introduction to the sport, physical demands, key performance indicators, common limitations and injuries, relevant information for success, and potential program breakdown. So basketball features short, high-intensity actions such as accelerations, decelerations, vertical jumps, defensive slides, sprinting, and contact. These actions occur against the backdrop of lower intensity activities, creating a mixed aerobic and anaerobic profile. From the NBA and WNBA to collegiate level, the essential qualities stay the same: explosiveness, repeatability, durability, and decision-making under fatigue. You're going to be able to observe a chart which describes the duration of matches for the NBA, WNBA, and NCAA or D1 categories, where we're going to have for NBA 4 12-minute quarters with a total of 48 minutes. WNBA is going to be 4 10-minute quarters. And then for NCAA, we're going to see for men 2 20-minute halves and for women 4 10-minute quarters. The takeaway from this being that men typically experience a higher total volume, especially starters. We're going to see more chronic load and recovery demands. But regardless of that, even though we see slightly less volume in WNBA, we still see that the pace is high enough to make intensity per minute comparable. We're going to be experiencing a 24-second shot clock, 8 seconds to cross half court, and 40-second reset after an offensive rebound. Now, for physical demands, time motion analyses show that players cover 5 to 6 kilometers per game while performing over 40 to 60 jumps and hundreds of accelerations and decelerations. Movement intensity keeps a heart rate above 85 to 90% of maximum for most of the game. And we're going to have 60 to 70% of anaerobic pathways with 30%, 30 to 40% of aerobic contribution, mainly driving recovery. Guards typically experience the highest internal load, so we'll see some variations in between positions, again, between guards, forwards, and centers. And instead of the highest internal load, forwards and centers typically sustain greater contact and vertical demands. As for KPIs or key performance indicators, some of the most predictive KPIs include vertical jump height, short distance sprint speed, change of direction time, repeat sprint ability, and aerobic recovery markers such as yo-yo IR1. Tactical KPIs, which are typically associated with success, are going to include shooting efficiency, that's field goal percentage, rebounds, whether they're offensive or defensive, steals, and a low turnover rate. Now, anthropometric traits such as height and wingspan further support success, but strength and conditioning programs influence modifiable variables such as power, eccentric braking strength, and sprint mechanics. Some of the normative data that we can see is that for men's NBA, max vertical would be of 91 centimeters or 36 inches. We're going to have a high VO2 max with a 50 to 60 milliliters per kilograms per minute, and three-quarter sprints where elite times usually correlate with draft success. As for women, on a WNBA to college level, we're going to see verticals of 55 to 6 centimeters. That means 22 to 24 inches, and a VO2 max of 44 to 54 milliliters per kilograms per minute. Normative values vary by level, but highlight clear benchmarks for jump height, sprint times, and aerobic fitness. And these metrics are important because they correlate with selection and career success. As for common limitations, the most common injuries include ankle sprains, ACL and MCL injuries, patellar tendon issues, low back strains, Achilles tendinopathies, and hamstring strains. These largely stem from high eccentric braking forces and repeated jump landing cycles, with effective prevention strategies including improve lower body strength, landing mechanics, deceleration training, and core stability. Some relevant information for success. Well, successful players exhibit explosive capacity, repeatability, durability, and tactical execution. Because both men and women require similar physiological profiles, training must emphasize vertical power, linear acceleration, change of direction efficiency, and aerobic recovery tolerance. High intensity interval training and contrast training mirror real game demands and enhance fatigue resistance during technical skills such as shooting under pressure. Now, as for the potential program breakdown that I was discussing earlier, we can see over here, for example, for the general preparation phase, where our goal will be to build foundational strength, neuromuscular control, and tissue resilience. We're also going to have an aerobic endurance phase, early preseason, where we're going to be looking to improve repeat sprint ability, and defensive movement efficiency. We're going to have a hypertrophy strength base where we're going to be building the force base required for later power expression. And finally, late preseason to in-season prep, we're going to have a power phase where we're going to be converting strength into high velocity actions such as explosive jumps, sprints, and change of direction. Each phase matches physiological needs with evidence showing that maximal strength supports power production and contrast and plyometric training directly improve vertical jump and acceleration. Finally, basketball demands explosive, repeatable power output supported by strong aerobic recovery. By training KPIs, such as the ones discussed previously, we build durable and high-performing athletes. Strategic periodization, injury preventive strength work, and sport-specific power development prepare players for success. Thank you.